Crow, you are killing me right now. Oh my gosh, shut up. Hey everyone! So I'm here today to film a two-part series for tips and tricks as to how to move to Norway. As it is late July and almost into August, a bunch of people will be moving to Norway, Oslo, wherever you're moving to for school and university, and because I've gone through this move before, I kind of wanted to share my tips and tricks how to make it as easy as possible. So like I said, these videos are pretty much intended for students coming over for a semester exchange or a full year exchange or even a full degree, specifically targeted to students. However, some of these tips and tricks will be applicable for those who are coming over for work. So don't feel discouraged if that is what your plan is. It's just that these videos are primarily targeted towards students. However, some of the tips and tricks do affect those just moving for work or for any other reason. This first part will be talking specifically about practical tips and advice for the move, and the second part, which will be posted in a couple of days, will be regarding packing and what stuff to bring or not bring with you when you're on your way to Norway. So with that being said, let's get into it. So this may seem like a very obvious piece of advice, but it is very important that you travel with all of your important documents on you in your carry-on and not in your checked bag. Documents such as copies of your passport, photo, transcripts, degrees, your rent contract, basically everything that is confirming that you are coming over to Norway to study, to live in the city, and to go to the university. You want all of those documents on you at all times. This is especially true for your acceptance letter as well as your rent contract, because these show that the university is expecting you and that you will have somewhere to stay once you do arrive in Norway. This might be an issue for customs, so it is imperative that you have these on you when you plan on entering Norway. But another aspect of these documents that a lot of people don't realize when you do get to Norway is once you do land in Oslo and you are at the airport and you plan on taking transit into the city, if you plan on getting the student price tickets, you need to have proof that you are a student in the country. So until you have your semester card, which you won't get until you pay the semester fee, the only way to prove that you are a student at the university is if you have that acceptance letter. So carry that acceptance letter on you when you're traveling, so then that way if you do get stopped for inspection, you can show that you do have the student price ticket and you do actually have acceptance and admittance to the university, because I know some people who have gotten caught in that little trap because they didn't realize they needed proof that they were attending the university. So basically, documents, everything you need for the move, keep on you, on your person, and don't check them in your bag in case your bag gets lost, because those documents are basically the proof that you have that you are making the move over to the country. Now, depending on where you're coming from, the process of immigration into Norway can vary greatly. If you are coming from a European Union country, the process is a lot simpler and straightforward, whereas if you are coming from a country outside the EU, you are going to need a visa, which by this point I would have hoped that you have already gone through that process. As for advice as to how to obtain a visa to get into Norway, I really don't know. When I applied on my British passport, so I went the EU route, which is different. So if you need more information on that, I would definitely suggest checking the Norwegian embassy in whatever country you're coming from and looking for more information that way. But the main aspect of immigration that I want to talk about is contacting UDI, which is the Department for Immigration in Norway, because as soon as you get to the country, you need to set up an appointment to meet with the police so that they know you are in the country and you will be there for a year or however long you plan on staying. And these appointments can be made online. You can fill out all the forms online before you have your meeting with the police, but as soon as you know you're going to be going to Norway, you might want to look online to book an appointment for your meeting with the police, because especially coming from July to August, the hours that the police and the UDI office work are very limited because it's still summer, so the wait list can go for like 6 to 8 weeks before you'll actually meet the police. Now, if you're a European student coming to the University of Oslo, you can fast forward this process by handing all your documents to the International Student Reception. All you have to do is fill out the forms on the UDI website and then hand them over to the International Student Reception, and they'll forward them on to the police, and a couple of weeks later you will have your Norwegian ID number. If this is applicable to you, I will also include the link to the International Student Receptions at the University of Oslo, their website. I will include it in the description box down below. As I already said, getting a Norwegian ID number is incredibly important in order to open up a bank account in Norway. You cannot open up a bank account until you have that ID number, or I believe there's another one for those who are only in Norway for about a 6-month period. You get a separate number, but if you do plan on opening a bank account in Norway, you do need that ID number, and sometimes you even need that ID number for other things, even phone contracts, sometimes you do need that. Speaking of phones, I think it's an incredibly important thing for you to bring an unlocked phone to Norway instead of buying one in the country. The phones in Norway are extremely expensive, and as a foreigner you cannot actually get onto a monthly contract plan in Norway until you've worked in the country for 6 months and have proof of credit and that you can afford going onto a monthly plan. So when you arrive, you are gonna have to go pay as you go because that's the only option. So if you do move to Norway and you want to get the latest new iPhone and you want to have a Norwegian number, well, your best bet is to bring an unlocked iPhone with you instead of buying it outright in Norway, because the cost is high plus the taxes on top of it. You're better off bringing it with you, bringing it unlocked, getting the Norwegian SIM, and then that way you can go from pay as you go that way. So just to overview, travel with your documents on you. I'd put them in a folder, something like this. Keep those documents on you, keep them in your carry-on because they're proof that your move is legit and valid, and if you have any problems at customs and you have these documents on you, shouldn't have a problem. Second, contact UDI as quickly as possible in order to set up your meeting with the police, because the wait times can be very long and you don't want to have to wait 8 weeks before you get an ID number so you can open up a bank account or even sometimes get a phone. And third piece of advice, if you want a fancy phone, bring one with you, bring it unlocked, and then that way you can get a Norwegian SIM card pretty easily and you're on your way. So thanks for watching, and let me know if any of these tips and tricks are helpful. If you have any questions about moving to Norway or what the process is like, I'll try my best to answer them. And if you're at all interested in what to pack and what to bring to Norway, then stay tuned for the second part of this video series, in which I'll tell you what to bring and what not to bring if you are coming to Norway. So once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys sometime next week. Bye!